Hello and welcome to another video. In last video we have completed the installation process for our VueJs project, and in this video I'm going to do some basic setup for our JWT Auth and user sign up. So here, let's close this, and in user let's try to create a new middleware first. PHP artisan make middleware, let's call this JWT. Great, and in app HTTP and middleware, and here's the created middleware. So I can simply type JWT Auth from packets parse token and eventually authenticate. So we will simply get token from API request, and eventually we will parse and authenticate user to give them permission to send API request and eventually get a result from the request. So let's complete user model section for our JWT. We need to implement JWT subject, so let's copy this, and in modules, users, entities, and here let's space and let's import. We missed T from here, and enter alt and enter, add methods, and eventually okay. So here we also need to add this get k and return an array. Let's just copy them and paste them here, and let's get rid of these comments. Great. Now we only need to add our controller and this configuration for auth guard. So in API we need to change this to API. Let's go to config and auth. Let's change this to API, and eventually let's replace them with required configuration for JWT Auth. Looks great. Now we need to add these routes to our application. So in modules, in users, and in routes directory we've got this API. Let's remove this, and let's paste these lines, and also let's remove this import and these comments. So everything looks great for now. We also need to add a new controller. So to add this, we can simply type PHP artisan module make controller and controller name, and eventually module name, which is users. Now let's check our controllers, and here it is, our controller. So let's get everything from here. Copy, and let's delete everything, and let's paste. So everything looks good for now. Let's do some change to this returned JSON. So here I'm going to add user, email, and ID. Let's change this to auth, user, and name. Let's copy and let's paste, and also replace with this one, and let's change this to email, and eventually we're going to change this to ID. great. We also need to add another route here. I'm going to call this register, and then here we can simply add this. I'm going to duplicate this login, and I'm going to change register. I'm going to change login to register actually. Let's import user model and create, and we're going to pass everything from request, which we're going to also inject our request here. We're also going to call login function to simply login user when registration was successful. So let's import our request, and everything looks great. Now here I'm going to change this to JWT, and also I'm going to add our middleware to kernel. Duplicate, paste, and the location, as you can see, is app HTTP middleware, and eventually the file name HTTP and middleware JWT. Everything looks great for now. We've got our roots also, and Auth is also looking great. So there's nothing else here. Our user model is also looks good, and that's quite everything we need to set up for our authentication system. That's it for this video, and in next video we're going to add some basic design to our VueJs application to simply start development process for this chat application.